Oh man. Fuck.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the newest session of the Meet Burn podcast, hosted live on Twitch TV. In this series, we aim to shed a bit of light on everything that's competitive gaming in an entertaining and educational format that's easy enough for all to kick back and listen to. Don't forget that we can take your questions pertaining to the current goings-on in gaming topics and subjects via the Twitch chat, or drop us a line on Twitter at Meet Burn TV. Before we dive headfirst into our current topic, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Mr. Dynamic Custom Bee Works himself. Chris and his team work diligently to bring you the latest and greatest in custom designs and customer service. With this partnership, you can take 10% off your order using the promo code METERBURN at checkout. For more information or to place your order now, head to dynamicbeeworks.com and be sure to follow the brand on Twitter and also on Facebook with liking their store page. With that out of the way, you can come on in, kick back, and burn a little bar with us because we're going to take you on a wild ride. As for introductions, I am the Blacktastic, but I'm not the only one here because I can't do this alone. Along with me is my wonderful co-host, Miss Katie Cujo. How are you?
Hey. Hey, everybody. How are you?
What are you wearing, by the way? It looks like very like Michael Jackson music video-y.
Kind of, yeah. I wanted to bring it back.
So I heard you got like a new PS4. You're streaming now, right?
Yeah, it's something new. I wanted to start streaming a little while ago, but things came up and everything, and just playing a little online. So anybody's willing to join in and play, and talking back and forth some.
Nice. So how was your first couple streams? You got a couple followers. You beat some
right now
beat some ass online.
It's been okay. The only problem is that I just hate when it gets laggy.
I mean, you're streaming from your console, and you're trying to play online at the same time. You're not gonna get like the best of results here.
No, well, I'm streaming from the computer.
Oh, are you? Oh, yeah, you got the Elgato.
I have it going through.
You are still streaming from your PC and also playing.
I'm noticing it though. I'm noticing some latency, but I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Right now, the guests we have here are all about one thing: mind on the marvel and marvel on the mind. These people are masters of their own craft, whether it comes to execution, analyses, or setting up the really cheap stuff, because we all like that shit, right? So, right now, I want to introduce you guys the Marvel Minds, Miss Persia, Kinder Party, and my dude, Merkel. What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Hey!
Hold on. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming in here and talking shop about the game that we all love. Well, not all of us, but hey.
Well, you should.
Yeah, we definitely should. So right now I want to go a bit around the chat. Kind of just give us a quick minute or two about your guys' selves, and then we'll go a little bit in depth a little bit on later. So Persia, you want to go first?
I think KP should go first.
KP, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. So what's up, guys? My name is KP, Kinder Party. Some of you know me as Dad. I've been a player for about 6 years now. Yeah, I'm an 09er, hardcore. Started with Street Fighter 4. Quickly got over that. As soon as Marvel came out, literally forgot that game existed. Moved on. Done.
Word.
Haven't looked back since. Some of you might know me as the only guy who plays Arthur, basically, at this point. I'd say that's pretty safe to say.
That's a bold claim,
guys, not really, doing it big, but hey, they're coming. But yeah, I love Marvel, and I'm a part of the Marvel Live team, and brought some other guys with me too. Merkel, what's up?
So for anyone who doesn't know me, Kyle Merkel, pretty big theory head online. Been around the Marvel scene in the Southeast as long as KP has. Tried my hand at Street Fighter, just didn't stuck. I like faster paced mobility stuff, and games where I can't jump just aren't my jam. So yeah, I mean, I love just the fighting game community as a whole, but I mean, Marvel's that's my jam. So
all right, and the last one here, Miss.
All right,
It's Persia.
My turn, I guess. Well, anyways, I'm Persia from Team Broken Tier. You guys probably know me from doing Marvel Minds or some commentary for Marvel at streams, tournaments, etc., etc. I actually started out like competitively gaming, I guess, like over 10 years ago in the shooter scene, and then I joined DMP many, many moons ago, and then moved to New York, and then that's where I started learning fighting games. That's where I met my boo, IFC Apes. And then I guess pretty much from there is when I started falling in love with Marvel because it just came out like right when I moved to New York. So that was like everything everyone was playing. So getting a chance to like be in New York City, be with the whole crew, playing the game, I felt like I got a really good feel for the game right from the start. And then just since then I've loved the game. So being able to actually make videos now and doing analysis now and actually getting a chance to commentate has been super dope because and you know anytime you love something you want to do it as much as possible.
Word.
So I think that's just been the fun part of all of this so far.
So to clarify a little bit, when did you move to New York? Because like,
I moved to New York in 2011.
Okay, so you didn't
Very
you didn't start with
like
Marvel 2,
January.
you started with Marvel 3 then, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yo, so the minds of Marvel themselves, Marvel Live. Before we get a little bit into like the personal goings on with you guys, tell us about this announcement that we had just this past weekend.
Heck yeah, man. We got a new home, dude. It's crazy. We did 2 episodes and we really loved them. They were great. They were a lot of fun. We were having a really great time with the show. We didn't know, I guess, that other people were having a really great time with the show, and some of them were like really important people that really liked it. And so we got to talk about it, and you know, Spooky loves Marvel, Chris Seglia loves Marvel. It's everybody loves watching Marvel, really, dude. They do, and like there's a total void, you know, of Marvel dedicated content, really, like you know, of like topical, you know, consistent content, and so we kind of just started that. That's where we started from, and Spooky really liked it. So we thought, why not, you know, just join forces on this and just really just bring it to the next level. And of course, it's not just the show, although the show is a huge, big deal, part of it. Persia also brought her Marvel Minds series to Spooky, which is cool, like super crazy because that was really the only other thing, like the content-wise, that was coming out, and she was doing such a good job with it. And now she's got all kinds of new resources and stuff. It's going to be really crazy.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it because now that we're partnering up with Spooky, we can give Marvel like a grand stage, you know, a much better platform to get all eyes on Marvel. And, you know, this was such a huge announcement for us and like we hyped it up all week. And then some people were kind of thinking we were going to have some super secret top tier Marvel 4 announcement or some craziness. And I was like, oh man, I really hope that when they do hear the announcement, they do still realize like how much of a big deal this is and how hype it really is. Like, even though it's not Marvel 4, but honestly, it could be the next best thing because we're going to be pushing out some really sick content. So
Hey, 10 more years, right?
Yeah, man, amen, bro.
At least 5 more.
now.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're halfway there.
Yeah.
The best thing that I like about just you guys starting up this sort of thing is that we had the whole I don't want to say rumor, but the whole meme of like Marvel being dead, Marvel not really having as many interests as it was when it first came out. You know, people weren't just practicing the game or, you know, having the crack sessions or anything like that. And then boom, we come up with the Marvelous Minds, this Marvel Lives that you guys are going through. Can you tell me a little bit, especially for people who don't really know or haven't seen your show yet, about, you know, what you go to, like, you know, when it comes to spreading the world in Marvel through your stream?
Do the podcast?
Yeah, through the podcast.
The show?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the show is definitely like a vehicle. It's kind of like the conversations that a lot of people have already had amongst themselves in Facebook chats that are just like all these super interesting conversations that do a great job of explaining the game, and they weren't being, you know, they weren't being shown to anybody. Nobody was getting them out, you know, it was just living and dying amongst the guys who really cared about the game. And so what better way to give people a voice than to literally give them a voice and like actually like, you know, invite people to speak their minds and and really intelligent people with the game. And maybe we're not all the best players, we're not all the best performers. We don't have the best results. Some of us have done really well. Some of us haven't. Some of us, it doesn't really matter because everybody's brilliant, and that was the whole point. Like that was like, I think people. That's why people responded so well to it. It's a diverse cast, and like Persia said, we were kind of nervous for a split second that people were going to take it the wrong way and like expect too much or something. But people still really got excited for it. Like the comments were great. Like everybody was liking it on YouTube. I had people texting me, and Merkel was saying like, yeah, people were hitting me up saying like, congratulations. Like it was a great response, and that's how I don't know. I think to us that said like, okay, we're doing this right, and like
Yeah,
really
especially, if you're giving people the ability to just be able to join in on these conversations, probably touch on some topics that they didn't even think of before.
Yeah.
And then when you stop and you think back, oh, hey, yeah, maybe I'll try something new or try, a different approach to something else or.
Yeah. It was all about inspiring just more thought and more, participation in general. Like we try to be very interaction heavy on the show in general, like try to get questions and interactions from the chat, but it's also we like spawn questions on like literally after one episode, people are already on Twitter like talking about stuff in the scene like just like 10 minutes after the episode finished. And that's like exactly what we wanted. Like we just wanted more people talking about Marvel because
See, that's the thing too about Marvel is that I have to say for me personally, even though I got Vanilla Marvel on reserve. So as soon as that hit at midnight, I got it. I played it for a month straight, and me personally, I'm not a combo heavy player.
Yeah.
But entertainment wise, I like watching Marvel the most.
Oh yeah.
I like watching. It's stressful and it's very action packed, Which I mean, high level Street Fighter is also really good, but that's a different kind of stress. I like the footsies in that. But Marvel, I love seeing like all the different things going on, and I think it. I would hate to see it just. I don't want to say fade out, but I think we need something that can help let everybody know, hey, we still want something like this going on, and we need to keep it going.
Since you were talking about like when you first played Marvel, I want to pose a little bit of a question before we go into anything too specific. When you guys first saw or played, let's say Vanilla Marvel 3, what was the one thing, or maybe like a top 2 or 3 things that pulled you in? So, Katie, do you want to go first?
I mean, for me, I like
if it was a character or like like flashy lights or whatever. Like, what was the quality about it?
I like the team idea for the game. That was pretty much it. I like Marvel characters better than DC characters, anyways. So I liked that. My team at the time was Sentinel, Akuma, and Wolverine.
I mean, like switch that a bit around, and then like you could have won Evo, yo. Like,
yeah.
Like
I couldn't play.
And this was like 1.3 million HP Sentinel, so that shit was extra
real
cheap.
Sentinel.
Yo,
But, that was it. I just liked all the different options and things like that. I mean, I love watching it. I can't lie. I love watching high play. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yo, KP, what about you, man?
All right, I got 2 things. Number one, okay, because like I said, it started with Street Fighter 4, right? And I kind of like played with Marvel 1 on GGPO like a lot, super casually. We were really bad.
Word.
And so when I finally got Marvel 3, and I booted it up, and I saw the character selection, oh my god. Street Fighter cast was so boring compared to what we got in Marvel. Like, literally, the Marvel was a totally new world. Every character was completely different. There's no like Shotos or like, oh, these grapplers are different, but his heavy chop is like this way and it's this way. It wasn't like that. Every character was like, this is an infinite possibility, and I can't wait to play this guy. Literally every time I looked at a character, well, except for X-23. Everybody.
Wow, the shots.
Like, yeah, these characters are great, but yeah, that was the first thing, and so that was like literally hooked from character select. I didn't have to play the game. I knew I was in love. But when I booted up the game, and I was getting so many scrub wins with X Factor, I was like, oh my god, yes. I can cheese out so easily in this game. I'm definitely gonna play this. Shortcuts and characters. That's exactly what got me in.
Since Katie kind of went into it, what was your very first team in Vanilla Marvel?
Oh man, day one because I hadn't unlocked Taskmaster, and remember you had to unlock Taskmaster.
Oh yeah, you did have to unlock all that.
Stupid. I knew I wanted to play him from the trailer, but I didn't have him yet. So instead, I played. Get this, Arthur.
That's a surprise.
1. All right, ready? Number 2, Ryu. Great, right? Number 3, Anchor Captain America.
Oh,
that
we
is
had
a
that.
Stars and Stripes.
Did you do that Infinite before they patched it up?
I saw that video and I was like, that's impossible. How could anybody do that? So I never bought. Cause back then I was still like literally just slapping I'm still slapping Team Hyper, but you know I did it differently back then. So I didn't really care. I don't know. I just thought they were all cool.
Yo, Persia, what's up, man?
Okay, so what attracted me to Marvel? So my very first fighting game ever in my whole life was Super Street Fighter 4.
Right.
All right.
Right.
And I played that for a little while, and then Vanilla came out, and I was like, damn, Street Fighter's dry. I was like, I cannot believe I've been playing this game, and there's a game like Marvel. So I play Marvel. My first team, which is actually not even that much different than the team I play now. My very first team was Magneto, Dante, Sentinel, and it was super ridiculous because I had DHC glitch, then I had awesome drones with fast Magneto. So you just call a drone and go ham, just try to jump everywhere. Super cheap. So, you know, those were the glory days. And then just what attracted me to the game was that in Street Fighter, you know, the combos are like super specific in timing. And mind you, this was my very first fighting game, so
Right.
I didn't know anything about fundamentals. I didn't know anything about like, you know, combos and one frame links and all this and all that. All right,
Just hitting the
I
buttons.
go over to Marvel. I'm like, ooh, boom, son! I just killed.
I know it's so pretty.
I was like, Sentinel, frying pan, 1, 2, 3, rocket punch, super, X Factor, super again. I just killed your whole team. Let's go. You know, I was like super hype about everything. And you ever played that game Simon, where you follow the colors that they give you in the right order? I felt like I've always been awesome at that game, and then doing Marvel combos felt a lot like that. Like I had to remember, okay, this red, yellow, green, blue, yellow, and you know, so
Yeah, it was more like a timing, like reactionary thing, just like
So it was like kind of fun because you know I wasn't super experienced in fighting games or whatever, but
Word.
since I was having like legitimate fun with the game while learning it, I think that's what helped me like stay interested in it over time.
So what's going on, Merc?
So I guess me and Marvel go pretty far back. Me and my best friend would always go to the arcade and play Marvel 2. And of course, like I didn't even know there was like a Marvel 2 competitive scene. Like we were just these horrible button mashing scrubs that like maybe we knew how to do a launch combo and had an idea. Like I didn't even know like what assist actually did what. I would have to ask my friend. But just the the whole team mechanic and just the kind of fast paced nonsense of it, I've always been a huge fan of it. And so when Street Fighter 4 came out, way back when, like also at the same time in the arcade, I was playing a lot of Third Strike. So Super Street Fighter comes out with Ibuki, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I realized that there's like this whole like scene where people like take this super seriously. And sorry, I'm getting attacked by a cat now.
Aw.
And so I started getting into it like seriously then, and like having to go on the forums and ask people like what Tiger Knee meant and how you super jump cancel an Ibuki combo and like got really into that for a bit. And so then Marvel came out like a couple of months or something after that, and everyone in my scene just like went absolutely nuts for it. And some of the people like right off the bat, like day one, were just absolutely ridiculous. So it was really fun just to go and crack out. And like I was complete, just utter garbage. Literally, I played on a shoebox that had some holes cut in it, and I dropped buttons in it because I had saw a video about like the really early hitbox stuff, and I was always just garbage at stick. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. So like I would just go to my friend's house with like a crappy old beat up shoebox with some buttons and just have fun. And for me, it's always just been about like community and family and fun. And I love the game, and I love the like how deep the engine is and how creative the game is, and just you can make anyone work. It's not like you have to pick one specific character, and so that's always just been a big thing for me. And I guess I don't really even remember what my day one was. I tried to play Dante in vanilla, but I didn't have the execution for him. So like I had X23 because like when I started taking it more seriously, like DHC glitch, it just came around, and she was one of the easiest DHC glitch starters. And then from there, it was like, oh, well, okay, all these other people have it. And so I just kind of like started throwing people on there. I think I ended up with like Taskmaster Doom for a long time. And then, but I was complete trash, like just garbage trash. So it really doesn't even matter what I played then.
Yo, KP, you played X23. What do you got against that, man?
The character's bad.
No, seriously, I really want to pose that question. What do you have against that character? What do you got against Sasha Grey, man?
I got nothing. Jason beat me in tournament.
Sasha Grey.
She's beaten me in tournament before. I can't hate. She's just bad. This is just bad. Worst version of Wolverine. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know.
Nah. She's so much better. Like that's the problem. Like everyone just saw like Wolverine and then saw hers. Like why would you even do that? But like once you get away from her, like realize that she's like really ridiculous mobility for a non-flight character, and then just once you start messing with like double dirt naps and all the gross stuff, like it's just she's like Phoenix, except you don't have to wait until everyone else dies to have fun. It's just
you just see KP
You have a
shaking his head.
non-believer over here.
whatever. This dude likes Arthur. Don't even worry about it.
I know, right?
all of his
Jesus
He
Christ.
wants to talk
Validated.
about other characters
Doesn't
when
dash.
he
That's
says
so
Arthur.
cool.
Yeah.
He's cool
Oh,
because he
projectile.
doesn't dash, and you want to talk about shitty characters in Marvel.
Yeah.
Let's
Arthur's
be
better.
realistic here.
No.
You think
X-
Arthur's better than X23?
Free.
no.
Why
whatever.
not?
Free?
He linked supers like Cable. He's basically Cable.
Oh my god.
So
Oh
what
my
happens if you don't
god.
have any meter?
You
X
lose.
Factor. X Factor.
What happens if you
that,
put on
my
your armor
friends-
and then it breaks and then you die because somebody gets to OTG and combo you because you suck? Yeah, shake your head. You know that's what happens.
Now, as much shit that we're giving Kinder Party over here, with this sort of unconventional character, he did kind of make some pretty good results there. Like a top once at what was it? What was it? Evo? Like an evolution or something? What was it? Battle by the Bay? Like what is it?
Many moons ago, Evo 2012. Yeah, I finished 13th. I remember Persia. You'll like this. I was sitting with my girlfriend, and girlfriend, guys, great times, right? I was sitting behind.
That was post lip ring, but okay.
That was very much during lip ring. That was the height of my lip ring. That thing was quivering with power back then. Yeah, so I was sitting in the aisle waiting for the play, and I was really about to just puke my guts out, scared. Right, this is the play for my 13th place match.
Word.
And so the match before me is Yipes and Peasy Poi, and I'm sitting literally directly behind Yipes, sitting with my girlfriend, and I'm thinking this whole time, I'm thinking like, oh my god, I'm gonna puke, it's Yipes, he's right in front of me, oh my god, it's Yipes. Also, I have to play possibly him, I'm scared. And so like literally just like freaking out, hyperventilating, my girlfriend's trying to calm me down. So I just, and he doesn't remember this, I just leaned forward and I swatted him on the back. I meant to pat him, but I was like,
To murder you. He hates
I
that.
know.
That's
And he
his like
was in
least
his
favorite
zone. He
thing.
was getting ready to go up and play Peasy Boy, and I was like, hey man, I hope I don't have to play you. That's what I said. That's what I. And he literally just looked at me and he was like, he like nodded his head like, what the hell are you doing, dude? Turned back around and like. Then I saw him lose, and I was like, who the hell is Peasy Boy? He's gonna whoop my ass. And then I got up there and I played him, and I got 13th because I lost.
Because I lost.
You know what? So
But-
you're actually the reason why Yipes lost. So
Yeah, you put Yipes off his game.
Just-
I felt
let's
it.
just
What up,
like
Black Sheep?
that.
And
It was a good time, though. It was fun. You know what was crazy about that? The craziest thing about that is, like, I didn't realize people liked Arthur so much because I guess they usually just boo me. And I got up there and I started to play and like I was like losing. I was like getting whooped. It's like this is awful. PC Boy's crushing me. And then when Arthur came on screen and I had the headset on and stuff, like the setup started shaking because like so many people were like popping off and getting hyped and like stomping their feet and going nuts. So
was this on like a stream station, like the main station?
Yeah, dude, like the setup we were playing on, bro. When my music hit, when Arthur's music hit, it was game over. That was my tournament to win.
It was your moments.
And then I lost. 3-1. But I did beat Justin Wong once.
Yo.
I mean, if you want to take that around with it, sure.
Reach down into that crate and pull that out there. That one time.
Shake it around forever.
Yeah.
Shake it. I can do that until someone else does it. Nobody else has killed them in pools yet.
All right. Okay. So
No one ever.
I definitely want to go a little bit more of the history with the three of you guys especially. So I'm gonna keep on Kinder Party for a little bit. What was it like? Basically train. Now you're from Kentucky, and when it comes to like a random person like hearing about major fighting game scenes, I'm pretty sure Kentucky is something that would not come to mind.
No.
So tell me a little bit about the little collective fighting game community there. What did you guys play at the time? Where did you guys travel to and stuff like that?
And this is, I'm sure a lot of what I'm going to say is Merkel can probably sympathize. It's like it's a very untraditionally place, like it's not a gamer haven. Kentucky's pretty like not. It doesn't care really. It doesn't care. Literally, it's like runs on UK basketball, and the rest of the time everybody just kind of blacks out, and then they wake up when the season starts again. So people were playing, like K-Jock. He's a really old school Lexington guy. He plays Vampire Savior heavy.
Yeah.
He's like the best Lele in the world.
Yeah.
Wow.
Legitimately, like the Japanese love him, and he's a huge deal in Vampire Savior. And ST, he was really good too. And so that's who I basically got taught by. Basically, it was 100% was him, Ray. And he played Marvel 3 with me and just whooped the hell out of me all the way through vanilla. Just dogged me to death. And then, like, slacked off a little bit whenever Ultimate came out. And the whole Kinder Party snuck up on him. And then suddenly I was whooping his ass. So then I was ready and I was like, okay, I got to get out of here. And that's when we were actually just talking about this, before we went live or whatever, is how far, like, the first Marvel tournament I ever went to was in Cleveland.
Really?
Oh.
Remember when I came and I met you? I came because it was in that tournament in that bar.
Yeah.
And you and Kieran were there.
Was it Seasons Beatings?
No. This was actually one of our regional tournaments for console combat held
nice.
at the Fox and Hound bar.
It was small, and we drove 6 hours there and back in one day. It was a one-day tournament. We got up at like 4 in the morning, drove 6 hours there because they said registration at 11, but because we're dummies and we didn't understand it as the FTC, that actually meant like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
So the tournament didn't start till like 4, and then I did pretty well. I got beat by Perfect Legend in round 1. In round 1, he played Sentinel Point, and he would immediately X Factor and then just go nuts. And so I lost to him.
Why?
You're the
But I
worst.
scrapped all the way back.
Are the worst.
I think I lost to Andre or somebody. It was crazy. Yeah, so it was a lot of that for like years,
Word.
and just driving like insane distances. And it's just been a labor of love. Seriously, like it doesn't even bother me. Like the road trips, like some people hate it, but like the drives are really just some of the best times anyways. Like we have such great conversations and just get into goofy wacky experiences on the drive, so it's all fun to me. I don't really care.
So you didn't mention like much of like your like immediate FGC. You were just kind of like mentioning how like Ray was like kind of like teaching you and all that stuff, but I did see you training it with a couple of the guys in actually Cincinnati, like the Arcade Legacy times.
Yeah, I was old school Arcade Legacy. Arcade Legacy is a sick venue for the Midwest, honestly. Like it's a huge deal. It's run by a great guy named Jesse Baker, he sponsored me at one point, and he still does whenever I ask him for it, but I feel bad because I'm so bad now I don't do it anymore. But he's a good guy, and he ran Power Up, which unfortunately got a really bad rap because it had that one rough year, and then it just never recovered from that. It's really unfortunate, but he ran a great tournament. He still runs tournaments, and that was like my stomping ground was Arcade Legacy. That's kind of where I cut my teeth because there was one house in Louisville that played the Jigsaw Boys, and then it's so Kentucky, gross. Jigsaw Boys out there in Louisville playing Marvel, and then but they weren't that serious yet. That's where Static Alpha came from, the other really good player in Kentucky.
Word.
But back then they weren't serious, so I had to go cut my teeth at tournaments at Arcade Legacy, and it was pretty gnarly because there were some really good players there.
Did you play
And-
against Derek Legend there?
Oh yeah, and he used to be seriously good at Marvel 3. Like
Yeah.
back in Vanilla and early Ultimate, he practiced that game like heavy. I'm glad
Yeah.
that you mentioned him. He beat me 3 or 4 times at tournament with just some wacky defense, and yeah,
Dude,
those guys-
I still see him in training mode. Like I just got another Xbox like last week, and I just saw him like boot. I'm like, I haven't seen this dude in like such a long time.
he just came to
Yeah.
our month in Louisville.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know because like the dude doesn't have like a phone or like a Twitter or
No,
anything.
he doesn't. He's a total phantom.
That dude,
He's really
that
cool.
dude is a caveman.
He's great, dude. I love Derek. He's
Yeah,
really-
he's so cool. He doesn't do Facebook or anything, but you'll
Okay.
definitely see him at the
He'll definitely
tournaments.
show
Every
up.
tournament. Any
I've played
tournament.
Street Fighter Online with him actually.
Yeah.
How was
Great
that?
player. Yeah, he's super sick. He's really cool.
It's not always the best connection, but it's still better than like playing some other people online.
Yeah, I know. That's another thing I did a lot of early on. Is I played a lot of Xbox Live with Andre and Jay and Moons and Ray and Nerd Josh and everybody.
Like the whole NY crew.
Right?
Yeah, they all had great connections in Kentucky. It was great.
So
Well-
just because I don't play Marvel. You know, I like watching it and stuff, but I don't play it. So we're talking about connections. When you guys play Marvel online, yeah, that's what I was wondering, Merkel. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
do you
It
can't-
could
you
either
can't
be
because-
like a decent experience or you're basically
Oh, it's
swinging
that
a sword
bad?
through
I mean,
molasses.
it's like
It's so much
that
worse.
bad, or
You're pretty much guaranteed like right off the bat like
yeah.
an extra 9 or 10 frames of lag. So in a game that's got like teleport characters and you call an assist and then you have to guess left right, like there's so many like characters that you lose the ability to react to, and it's just like you can't tech throws. You have to like tech throws a whole second in advance sometimes. And,
Wow.
like it's super gross.
So it's
I don't
almost
know.
like you don't even want to risk it. You have timing issues, bad
that's-
habits
Yeah,
starting
you
up.
just take those online. You just take
Yeah.
those.
You play Doom or you play Hulk because he's got an armored button. So if somebody tries to do something, it's whatever. I pressed a button 5 seconds ago. You're gonna get hit by it.
And Spencer.
You play Captain America because you can just do his little charging sitar. Like there's a lot of characters that are just absolute, like some of the worst characters like to actually play offline, but online like just that little bit of lag and the ability to have armor or teleport. So I mean the teleport characters are already good offline too. But yeah, there are some characters that are just like they're online gods and just kind of offline But,
I have two fun facts. One funny story and then
Uh-huh.
one fun fact. So the fun fact is in Marvel training mode, you can actually set the lag up for you, and then you
I
can practice
forgot
your
about
combos
that.
on lag.
What?
Like, why
Oh
not?
my
Let's
God,
just
that's
practice
crazy.
laggy combos. You know, that's cool. And then the other funny thing is in our house, like we have really good internet. So we have two Xboxes. So Yipes went on one setup and went on Marvel, and I went on the other one, and we played each other, and we were still lagging.
Oh
Like,
my
it was
God.
super bad, but there was still lag. I was like, how? We're right here, right next to each other.
It's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, so you have the ability to set the training mode lag, and I was like, oh, this is cool. So I'll be able to actually play. And so I practiced that, and I was like, well, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll just be ready for the worst case scenario. So I set it all the way down to like 1 bar, and but it's a consistent. Like I don't know what frames they had. It's something. It's pretty bad. But I was like, cool. So I get online and like one of the first matches I get was like, oh, it's a 4 or 5 bar. It's a green connection. This is going to be a breeze. It was worse
Yeah.
than
That,
Jesus.
bar
that fake
training
green
mode.
connection. I hate
And then
that.
like yeah, and it's just like it's not even consistently bad. It just kind of like oh you're going great, and then all of a sudden it just like turns into molasses for 3 seconds, and it's always when you're doing your combo. So it's just
I think they have that kind of an option in Street Fighter 2 where you can, add lag.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't even want to risk it. No, let's just leave it.
Do the easy stuff, man. It'll kill anyway.
I'm having a hard enough time as it is, though. Like, I don't need
God. Oh man. That's crazy.
All right, keep going around the rotation. Miss Persia, just basically the same questions that I ask in the party. Like, I know in your introduction you kind of like answered a little bit already, but like when you actually moved to New York and started playing some Marvel, where was the scene that you would train with, or like like what was like your regimen and like basically like what you were taught?
Right, so actually, I probably had the best like breeding grounds of anybody else, right? So
Word.
I'm in New York. At this time, this was when EMP was like everything, right? So Marvel just came out. We had like gotten copies early and everything, and then we're just at the Arc playing, and people would come over and we would all train together. Like, it was super dope, and like you could always get a chance to play. And then I would just be practicing, like everybody else would fall asleep and I'm still over here trying to practice combos and everything. And it was cool because since there were so many people there, like someone was kind of always awake at some point during the day to like help me out. So I think it was like definitely just like the perfect situation, especially for somebody just starting out. So I felt like I like absorbed like everybody's information like on some like just a sponge. I was just absorbing everything. But
Was that Chinatown Fair open?
um
Like when you were there, did you get to go there at all? Or
I
I know
did
they closed
go.
at some point, right?
I did get to go a few times, and like especially around when Super came out and everybody was super hype about Super.
That's
And
rad.
then
Yeah.
and I actually went when they were closing too. Like they had like one last final thing and took pictures in front of it and everything. And I felt like a super fraud because I'd only been there like 5 times maybe beforehand. And then I'm like there like, oh yeah, rest in peace. Yeah. Like I feel for you guys. I'm sorry. But it was still cool. Like I can only imagine how much different things would have been if it would have stayed open. Like it's open now, but it's not the same way
Right.
it used to be.
Yeah.
It's like ghetto Dave Busters. So. But yeah, like being able to train with all the guys and everything while everybody's learning, and then as it went from vanilla to ultimate, that's when EMP and everybody like kind of started to separate and everything. But by then, I had already had enough of a grasp on the game to be able to like carry on and play and learn like the new stuff of the game. I had pretty much known exactly like I knew pretty much what I needed to do to learn the game since in vanilla that was kind of the same process.
So, what was your first tournament, and how well did you place?
Oh my goodness. Okay, first tournament in fighting games ever, or first Marvel tournament? Because my first tournament ever is hilarious. So if you want, I can share both. But
Sure.
the first tournament I ever played. Okay, so I came and visited New York first for like a month, right? I came and I landed. First day, dropped all my stuff off. They were like, oh yeah, check this out. So this is how you throw a fireball. This is a low forward fireball when you press these two buttons. And I'm like, cool, cool. And there's even like footage somewhere of like Sanford teaching me low forward fireballs, like super just like noob status. And for some reason, every time I did the low forward fireball, my mouth would just go.
Gamer
Totally. Like I didn't even notice until I watched the video, and it's hilarious. So anyways, did that, fell asleep. Next day they're like, hey, we're going to Battlefield Arcadia and you're gonna play the owner in a money match.
Oh, geez.
I was like, what? Sure, why not? And like it ended up being like the hypest thing the whole tournament. I was trying to do like just a full screen ultra, like 5 times in a row, and I got 3 EXDPs in a row, and I hit every single one on him, and it was just the most insane thing we'd ever seen. I think we got like a double KO one round, which was like also super crazy. It was just insane.
Wow.
Like, it was the nuttiest, most insane thing ever in the world. But my first Marvel tournament. Man, I think that was probably also a Battlefield Arcadia tournament too, because EMP would host like their bi-weekly or weekly tournaments or whatever, called Battlefield Arcadia, and then it was actually kind of just like really good practice, like practice tournaments. It kind of felt like because like everybody knew I was like butt at the game, but they still didn't like play against me like I was asked. They still played against me pretty seriously, so I got like a good feel for like actual tournament play and everything. But the cool thing was it wasn't like, oh yeah, I bodied you and you're garbage and get out of here, scrub. It was like, oh yeah, you lost, but you know, if you did this and you do this and you work on this, like you'll probably be, you know, much better. So like it was like a really constructive like process. So
So, okay, so let's take the sort of like then Persia at the Battlefield Arcadia to the very first major where you competed in an Ultimate Marvel tournament. Like, how different were these two entities?
I don't even remember the first major tournament I played in. I'm trying to think. It feels so long ago.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And then even when you add in probably all the tournaments you've been to, it almost gets kind of confusing when you think back
like
to
like lines do certainly get blurred there.
yeah.
Like even from this Evo to last Evo, like I'll be telling like someone about it and I'll be like, yeah, remember when this, and they were like, that was 2013. Like that's or they or like, you know, that
Yeah.
was like 2 years ago. What are you talking about? I'm like, oh man, like just time goes by so fast. It's crazy.
Okay. Well then, what was a memorable match in like any past major that you went to then?
Tell them about
Like-
when we played.
Well, okay. No. I'll talk. You could talk about that since that's clearly one of your accolades, Kate. And I told him too when he beat me that I was gonna tell everyone we won 3-2, and I did. I was like, oh, I won 3-2 with KP. It was so close last round. But one of a memorable match, I guess, because I'm pretty sure it was one of the Big E tournaments. That was my first major.
Sure.
I'm like almost 100% positive. So, I remember in team tournaments. Oh, no. I remember now. It was CEO 2011.
Really?
My first Marvel major. And the very first time we entered
right?
team tournament, me, Nina, and Amy entered team tournaments, right? And then our team name was Chicks with Sticks, right? And it was awesome.
Cool.
I made a logo and everything. It was a little Tokidoki bird with an arcade stick in her hand, like it
Yo,
was
word.
good, right? So Nina's flight got delayed, so she didn't show up on time for the tournament. So we're running around the venue, like just asking random girls, "Hey, do you want to join our team, our Marvel team? Have you ever played Marvel before?" Da, da, da. Just until Nina got there, then Nina was like gonna switch back in. Of course, nobody was gonna say something to us about it. So we get this random person, and we go up to play our first match, and she loses, and then Amy loses, and I get in, and I beat the first guy, and I'm like, oh shit, all right.
I'm
let's
feeling
go.
this shit. All right.
Oh,
And then I beat the next dude, and I'm like, yo, I'm feeling myself. I'm like, oh, right. And, you know, I got Yipes behind me, and he's getting hyped too. He's like, you really about to be like, what's going on? And then we get to I was getting to the last dude. He's like beating me, and I Sentinel last with X Factor. And then I hit him. I kill his two characters, and it's just our last two. I think it was some nonsense. Like, I had Sentinel, and he had, like, I think it was Captain America. I'm not too sure, but it wasn't like, you know.
Yeah, Cap Anchor.
It was just like some like random hair. I'm pretty sure it was a cap though. And then I went to swing, and then I just like ate a shield skills like for the last hit, and I was like, everybody was like, no.
Charging
And then-
Star so strong.
Aw.
And then the other guys on the other team, they were like, oh man, I can't believe we almost lost. And they were freaking out about it. And then one of the dudes was like, yeah, this is the first time I ever played this game. And I was like, hold that shit. And like, I don't know. So that was, yeah, that was awesome. That was pretty fun.
That's cool. That's a good story.
Yo, Mr. Merkel, dude. Now, from my understanding, that you were kind of like in the same pool as Kinder Party, with the we kind of didn't really had like as bustling of a scene as like other like coasts and other regions did. So, what was like kind of like competitive Marvel in your upbringing?
Well, it's kind of the opposite. So the Huntsville scene, we had a few people that were like super OG status and would like came from like Street Fighter 2 arcade days.
Oh, okay.
And so they were big in the scene, and of course they were all excited when Street Fighter 4 came out. So like they had started working hard to kind of build the scene up, and then Marvel came out, and of course everyone's excited about the new game, and so everyone was playing that. And I say everyone, we had maybe 6 or 7 people, and I think the problem with our scene is like everyone is super competitive, so like everyone was so excited just to like win a few matches, and then like they'd be like, oh no, I beat you last time, I'll play you later. And so like there was all these like little like half-ass rivalries, and people like we weren't like going out and traveling to tournaments, and it was all just ego in the scene.
Right.
And so it was really self-destructive.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a few people. I'm trying to think what Jacob played as, and I can't remember what his tournament tag was, but like early vanilla, like he won MWC, I guess in 20. Oh, I guess that was what, 2012, 20. I don't remember whatever, like the very first Marvel tournament that MWC Midwest Championships had in Tennessee. And so like he was really good, and he was like one of the people that was really happy to teach the scene. So it was really cool to kind of get to play with him. And he was always like, he sat with me in the lab and spent like what I know now had to be the most frustrating hour and a half of like, let me try and show you this Dante B&B that has no high execution and like no double inputs and no bold cancel, like none of his hard stuff. And like, it's really hard for him to actually do really easy B&Bs. But he was really cool and helped everyone out in the scene. And after that, in the Southeast, there's the Team Mark grew. So Potato Salad, Wandles, me, and a couple other. We would, it was just our little self-made team. Went around with orange shirts with a water jug on it because the Team Mark thing was having water jugs. I don't know. That's a Marcus thing. Potato Salad is all about carrying around water 24/7.
Thirsty.
Word.
Yeah, always thirsty. And so we were trying to build the tournament scene up in the area, and like we ran like little regionals and monthlies in the area, and had a lot of fun doing that. And then just new game after new game came out, and our scene's one of those that like really jumps on something hard for a few months and then kind of trickles off.
The 2-week syndrome.
Yeah, and so I don't know, like trying to get some of the new people that weren't around when Marvel first came in to pick the game back up and stuff like that. It's so hard in a game that's like, I don't want to spend time in the lab trying to beat people who've been playing this game for 4 years. And so trying to find a way around that. But the scene at this point is, I mean, it's ghost town pretty much in the Southeast. From Alabama, I either have to drive like 2 hours north to play 1 or 2 people in Tennessee if I'm lucky. I drive 3.5 hours over to Atlanta if I want to play the Atlanta crew. I have to drive 5.5 hours down to Pensacola for the North Florida crew. And there's like, that's pretty much it. That's the Marvel scene in the Southeast. And the good thing is that like at this point, the Marvel crew is super tight knit, and that kind of is where the Marvelous Essentials and the Marvel Live, Marvel Lives, all of that kind of came together, just because we all talk a lot between each other and kind of realized that we weren't talking outside of the Marvel scene about, you know, how cool everything is here. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean the scene at this point, it's ghost town, but I mean in vanilla and early ultimate, like there was pretty like regular weekly crack sessions where everyone's just having fun and trying to get better.
That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, how many guys play Marvel in your local scene? You know, like
in my
5,
local scene,
10?
Right this second.
Yeah.
So it's me and one other player, Wandles, are pretty much the only people that take it like to a competitive level.
Uh-huh.
And then there's like 3 or 4 more that if we have a for fun tournament or like a super low entry tournament, like they'll come out and play. But
that's what I was going to say. Like we were trying to figure out in Pittsburgh how to do something like once a month we'll have a Ranbats where it's, you know, a little bit bigger, and then people from an hour away will come in and, you know, try to play. But for a while, you know, once a week when we would get together and practice, we would have an optional dollar tournament, you know, and it was mostly just you could either pick a character you don't know, or just pick whatever character, and then it's just to see, just for fun, who's going to win the money at the end. But at least it'll keep something,
Yeah.
But if you have one person there that's just going to bop everybody, it kind of doesn't make that fun
Yeah.
either, because nobody's learning.
Yeah, I specifically tried to run like a Let's Learn Marvel like free tournament. My wife makes these awesome comic book wallets at a little local artist studio. And so I convinced her to let me hand out some gift certificates. And I was like, yeah, it's a
Nice.
free tournament. And you get points by like learning Marvel skills. So it's not really, you'll get some points in like these weekly matches that you play, but every week you can come back and get like achievement points for, okay, now you know a B&B with your character, or now you know how to do this technique or this technique that's important to like mobility or neutral. And that went pretty good. Like there's a whole bunch of people that I didn't even know like really are super interested in Marvel in the area, but there's a whole bunch of people like to play in the Tekken group, and so they're kind of their own scene within the scene. But yeah, like trying to like they didn't have controllers for Xbox, so I had to bust out the old PS3 copy, which has a little bit of lag, and then I didn't have any like converters or anything to help with, and but I don't know, it was still a lot of fun, and definitely gonna keep trying to bring people into the fold. But
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of for all the games. There's a lot of potential to try and come up with tournament series that aren't just about super high competitive, I'm the best player, that's all that matters, and are
Right.
more about rewarding people that actually are still trying to put effort in games that are at this point. I mean, every game is pretty much an old game except for Mortal Kombat 10, and that's kind of, especially in our area, there's literally not a Mortal Kombat 10 scene. And it feels like that's in the Southeast in general. Like we have Yomi in Atlanta that are just killing everyone, but I don't really know who they play against aside from each other.
Yeah, I'm not really, and like I'll probably go off on a little tangent here for a bit. Like I'm not really sure, like kind of like what Yomi is, like especially when like they like kind of it looks like almost as if they're like sponsoring, quote unquote, like everybody kind of like left and right. So like you'll get like all these Yomi people that kind of like flood the brackets, so they kind of have like something to boast about when like one of them gets like like a top placement or something.
I mean, normally what it was at TFC, I think like Yomi was like the top 4 spots in Mortal Kombat. So I mean, their players are really high quality. I don't know, like I know that I think there's like a Yomi house in Atlanta, and they have a few
Word.
people. I know like Dominion just moved down here.
Huh.
Oh really?
And
Yeah, I didn't
yeah,
know that.
he's over in
not
Atlanta
New York
now.
anymore.
Um,
Wow.
and he's picking Marvel back up too, which is super cool. Or it said he's picking it back up. He played. I know he played in a couple of the little local tournaments, but yeah. But I don't know. I don't really know enough about the thing. I know they have a venue there, but like there was some issue with some like permit nonsense that they were having trouble with, and so it's hard to use that as a regular venue in Atlanta. But I know their talent pool is super strong, but I don't know who backs it or where that even comes from.
Word. Hopefully, we'll hear a little bit more about them. Kind of like as because like the Yomi is like a kind of a recently like new thing, right?
As far as I know, it's relatively new, but I don't know. I don't know like when they popped up, because they're not really like Yomi plays pretty much everything but Marvel, and if they don't play Marvel,
So that's not what the show is about then.
I know.
Yeah,
I know
Yomi,
about
who?
them,
This
but
is
What is trash, bro? No, I'm playing.
You could be Yomi's first Marvel player.
there
What?
you go. That's
I mean, they have Dominion now. Dominion plays Marvel, right? Even if he doesn't play, he like plays it because he's so damn smart. So like,
Can't be.
yeah. I mean that maybe he'll be Yomi's first, and then everyone in the Yomi group will be like, "Oh, this game's actually cool," and then they'll all start playing it, and then people in Alabama will be like, "Oh man, this game's really cool. Why'd I forget about it?" And then just everyone will buy all the used copies from GameStop because you can't buy it new anymore, and you can't download it offline or get DLC characters, and
Well, hopefully,
It's so sad.
hopefully our child will spread the good word. Yo, Kinder Party. See your boy Airborne saying, hey, he's gonna talk about how much he hates spiders when he talks about this local scene. What's that about, man?
I'm good at squishing them. Absolutely, I am. You can check my stream for that. He's a Spider-Man player, and actually, I was just in the Toronto Top Tiers chat or whatever they do. They're doing for their weekly, and Bro Shady was in there trashing on my boy Airborne, and he doesn't even know the guy, and he's literally just trashing him. Hey,
Aw.
Airborne, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna burn TV. I think you're the best Spider-Man. Anyways,
Yeah. So take that, Mr. What was his name? Trying to trash on Airborne?
Bro Shadian.
Bro shit. Take that, Bro Shittian. Take that, Bright. What was that? Bright Side. That Chicago
Right,
player.
He's okay. He's a cool guy. I like him.
Okay.
I like Bro Shady too, I guess, but he was trashing on my best.
Yo, KP's like, man, screw all these Spider-Man players except for that one. No, that one's cool, man. We're cool. We're definitely all right. Like no, bro. But fuck all these fucking Spider-Man players.
That character is so stupid. This is stupid, dumb. It's like X-23. Like, why play Spider-Man? Play Spencer.
There we go.
I don't know. Spencer is like what She-Hulk and Spider-Man became if they were together. That's how you could just play Spencer, and he's got dreads. What's the problem?
Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't need to make up these weird fanfic things to,
Really wish
to enjoy
Marcus
my
was
game though. But I mean, if that's you,
Really wish Marcus was here. He would understand. Anyway,
I wanted to learn how
I
to
get
play
enough Spencer
Spider-Man.
love talk from
I wanted
Potato
to learn how
Salad.
to play Spider-Man and Taskmaster, but they both
Yes.
seemed like they were just tough. Tough.
Yeah.
Tough?
Spider-Man's pretty tough.
Yeah. Well, you remember? I
That's
mean,
true.
I don't play Marvel. You know.
Yeah,
but
Katie unfortunately is like the only one that doesn't dabble in the good word.
She watches. That's okay.
I'm
She-
trying. I'm trying.
I
From a
saw it
Hey,
on
she
Netflix.
likes it, and
Wait.
that's all that matters.
Huh?
You like the game, and you like watching it, and that's all that matters.
That's it. I love watching it.
Heck yeah! And I saw your Taskmaster cosplay. That was super tight. That was really fun.
Hey, thanks.
What?
Thanks.
That was cool. Super rip.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Persia, I want to talk about a bit more about your rise to becoming one of Marvel's star commentators. Like, when did you actually want to like be like in that spot, like with like the analyzing? Because I want to go into this, then I want to go into Marvel Minds, then and you know, kind of like flesh everything out from there. So it kind of starts with you at this point.
Well, okay, when I started commentating, I had actually started commentating with one of my best friends ever, Nina. So she was like my first ever commentating partner. So, you know, she kind of got me into it. And then at a Big E tournament, we were commentating. And then Big E, he told me about this story before. He was like, yeah, I was in the room watching the stream, like setting up something for later on in the day. And he heard me and Nina commentating. He was like, who's that? Who's that commentating right now? He's like, we gotta get her on more streams.
Star was
And,
born.
you know, we gotta get her as much time. So shout outs to Nina and shout outs to Big E for, I guess, you know, seeing something in me. And then Big E, you know, was throwing me on the mic with Spooky, and then, you know, curly mustaches, I would jump on the mic too. Eventually it just started picking up, and, you know, at first, I'll be the first to admit I was not very good at first. Like, of course I understood the game, but I didn't know how to translate that in a way that people would be able to watch and understand. And then eventually, when I realized commentating was going to be something I was going to be doing more, I tried to be a little bit more mindful of the way that, you know, I broke down the game live, because breaking down the game live is much different than breaking it down in a video like Marble Minds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was a big difference. I had to get used to not trying to go too in-depth into something, finding out how to get to the point really, really quickly and not get tongue-tied and other stuff like that. So it was like all these little things, but it's been really, really fun, like being able to hone those skills, and hopefully I can take those skills on and do something even, you know, bigger and better, and hopefully somebody sees something in me and they're like, I want to hire you and you can make lots of money, and I'm like, yes, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna throw the sickest Marvel tournament known to man, and then we're just gonna call it a day. So yeah.
I actually like that. Dialing back here. So when was it that you actually like really wanted to kind of like take the mic and break things, but like a sort of play-by-play style, because you were telling us that like Biggie was all like, hey, we got to get these two together, but like when did it actually like spark that you're like, man, you know what, this is actually pretty cool, maybe this is something that I want to do in the long term?
I think it was the first time that I had not commentated with Nina. And not saying like, oh, now that I'm not commentating with her, I definitely feel like I want to take this on. It was more of like, I was really scared to commentate with anybody else aside from her because I hadn't commentated with anybody else. And I wasn't sure if I'd be any good without her, you know? So I commentated with Ski Sonic and it went awesome. And I was like, all right, maybe, I can, turn this into something. I had a lot of fun still, and I was really worried about it beforehand, and then afterwards I was like, that went great. I started commentating with more and more people, and like every time I get a new commentating partner, it's always pretty exciting because I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see how we mesh together, and I like hearing new inputs from new people. So it's always nice to have a consistent like commentating partner. But when you commentate with more people, you get more opinions about the game, and like they might know information I don't know about. So that's also really cool. The thing I kind of don't like though about like I guess being a esports whatever commentator
esports
that people
boys
know that like I commentate is like I don't want to be like paired up and someone be like, oh my gosh, like I'm commentating with Persia and like I don't want to be bad like with you, and I'm like, no, I'm not like oh my god, if you're a shitty commentator you need to GTFO, like I don't even want you over here, like no, I don't, not like that at all. And I just want to have fun, and I love talking about the game, and I love watching the game, and I hope that whichever commentator comes on board with me equally has as much fun, or else it's like it's gonna be kind of awkward, and like that's never good.
Yeah, you don't want to be the one to exactly carry the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Like I still want it to be charismatic no matter who's commentating with me, because if we're not having a good time, me and my commentating partner, like no one at home is gonna have a good time.
Right.
So I think that's the most important thing to focus on.
So you're definitely all right. So you're taking that and just not recently, but semi-recently, and this is probably like around like the meme was being spread that like kind of like Marvel was dead. You were like you had this little Marvel Minds things, kind of breaking down individual matches, kind of like piece by piece. What made you like exactly want to just start that up as like maybe a personable thing and like a unique quality about basically you?
Yeah, well, when I first, because I'd always wanted to do something like Marvel Minds, and but I was just worried, like, oh, it's not like I win anything, or I haven't placed in anything, and this and that. Like, are people really gonna like respect what I have to say?
Word.
So then once I started commentating, and then I definitely went through my phase of commentary where everyone hated me, and that was rough. But I knew that I was still having fun doing it, and the tournament organizers, they liked having me on board to commentate. So if it was really that bad, then they would tell me, yeah, sorry, it's just not gonna work out, and that's just business. Like, I'm not gonna take offense to something like that. But they've been super supportive. So now I think I've gotten past that phase, and everyone's like used to me by now. They're like, whatever, purchase old news, let's just watch Marvel. So I think that's a good thing. I'm happy that I've gotten to that part. And then that's when I started feeling a little more comfortable to do Marvel Minds, and a little less worried about, are people even going to respect what I have to say about the game? Once I did the very first Marvel Minds video, and I put it out, my heart was racing. I was like, oh my god, it's live. People are going to watch it. Oh, is this, what are they going to say? And then everyone really liked it. And I was like, well, damn, like, this is awesome. And that, like, got me really eager to, like, keep on doing more and more of them. And then now, like, I was doing really well, like, releasing them like very periodically, like almost once a week. And then I went to Evo. I took 2 weeks off because I went to California, and I was helping out with Curly West over there, and then went to Evo from there, and then back to Cali for a little bit, and then I came back to New York, and there was just like this long lull because I was going back to my day job, and I had to catch up from those 3 weeks that I was gone. And then there's like this huge gap, and then next thing I knew, there was another tournament. Like after Evo, I was like, what? That we just
was that the
went
Summer
to
Jam
Evo,
one?
and yeah, I was like, man, we just at Evo, weren't we? And now we're already in a
Where'd the
tournament.
time go?
Yeah, I was like, man, like I had like so many matches in mind from Evo I wanted to do, and then now there's already another tournament, and like that's like another added pressure. It's like every time there's another tournament and I don't have a video out from a match I wanted to do from a previous tournament, I'm like, oh crap, I wasted all this time, and this is already 2 weeks ago, and trying to get it all together. I just upgraded to a new laptop, and I'm gonna be doing videos on this thing, so it's gonna be awesome because my old computer was taking a really long time to render videos, and I'm not gonna have that issue with this one. So hopefully I can get back on like a more consistent schedule. Now that I'm hosting on Team Spooky's channel, I think that should be the extra like kick in the ass to be like, come on, Sam, let's get some videos out now. And then aside from that, like it's just been really fun to put the videos out and see that I'm actually helping people, and like that people, are interested in the game a little more. Like I even saw someone comment like, where can I buy this game now? And I was just like,
Yo.
it's the best thing I've heard like, this whole week. So I was like, I feel like if I got one person to buy the game, then I was already going in the right direction with it.
Nice.
Awesome.
Again, spreading the good word. All right, 2 more things, and then we're gonna head on to the FAQ section where we get our interactive chat, pull questions from there, and then if they want to ask you guys something, there'll be more than 3 too. So Marvel Minds. Now these 2 guys, especially Kinder Party here, where'd you find these guys?
Well, KP's actually the one who found me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, after Evo, like I said, long lull, he reached out to me and Angelic actually in like a little private chat, and he's like, hey, I want to make awesome things happen with Marvel, and we were looking for awesome people like you guys to help us make these awesome things. And all of a sudden, he gave us this whole elevator pitch, and it was awesome. And right away, I was like, yeah, I want to do it. I'm down. I'm ready to get started. I felt like it was exactly what I needed to like stop being lazy after Evo and actually start working on stuff. And it was almost like within a weekend, like everything just exploded. It went from, hey, you want to join us, to, woo, Marvelous Mondays, welcome to our favorite show. Like all of a sudden.
When's Marvel? Mondays, Marvel.
Definitely. Yo, KP, you kind of want to like expand on that?
Yeah, I'll expand on it and I'll kick it to Merkel because where I came in is like I knew Merkel was doing his thing,
right?
And because I knew Persia had the editing chops because she had been doing Marvel Minds.
Word.
And I had been talking with Prague actually from the Smash scene and about Mail It On Me and how badly there's nothing like that anywhere else in any other scene. And I was thinking like, man, wouldn't it be crazy if that just existed in Marvel? Like exactly that in Marvel, just the people talking. That's all it is. And I was like, why hasn't anybody done this yet? This seems really easy. And I knew the people, so I thought, why not ask them? Persia was super excited. Angelic, he had some stuff going on, but actually he's finally just kind of getting back into it. And I knew Merkel was doing his thing because Prague recommended him to me.
Word.
So I thought, why not I just reach out to both parties? There's a lot of people doing their own little things out here. Why not just bring them together? And that's kind of how the show started, how the website started, how the YouTube channel like really took off in a new direction. Like a lot of things changed just because people didn't know that other people were out there trying to do the exact same thing. And that's I don't want to take any like credit or anything. That's literally like what I wanted to do. And I did. And I told Merkel and Persia both right up front. I was like, guys, I'm useless. Really. I was like, I can't do this. I can't make videos. I'm sorry.
Not without the lip ring.
Yeah, I took it out. It's over for me, guys. It's a wrap. But I was like, you guys can do stuff. Like, you guys can make this like really, cool products that you guys are doing. Merkel had been working on his YouTube channel and was getting all kinds of cool stuff up for his YouTube channel, Marvelous Essentials. And so I was like, you guys, I'm done, but you can live on. And make Marvel live again and make it strong, and it's going to be beautiful. And
what a heroic sacrifice.
I know, I did. Right on the cross, man. I took it. But, hey, they liked me, and they kept me. And they were like, hey, dude, you should host the show. And I was like, that's a good idea. I should host the show. I do have really cool hair, and I've got a decent mic. I'll host the show. And so I hosted the show. Internet. Yeah, and
Also, that's a lie. He bought that microphone afterwards. So
Yo, all right. So we finally got Merkel back on here. So you're one of the major masterminds of Marvel Minds as well. So what's up? How did you find these guys? And I know you already had some content going on. So
well, first, so Marvel Minds is Persia.
oh, sorry. Marvelous Essentials. I'm sorry. I'm getting it all mixed
Marvel
up.
Live is what the podcast is, and it's kind of like a whole bunch of moving parts that are all part of this bigger ecosystem of Marvel content.
Yeah, a bit overwhelming for me since I'm trying to
yeah.
juggle things back and forth here.
But so I mean, on my side, I was pretty active on S3E02.com on the forums there.
Okay.
And then once that started to die off, the Marvel scene started moving over to the Marvel subreddit, and I hung around there and did all my nerdy Marvel conversation there, and it was all good fun. And eventually, EMC 650 asked me if I wanted to be a mod there because I was always on anyways. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And so I've always wanted to build the Marvel community back up, and I hated seeing like when people started saying, you know, like Marvel's dead and all that, it really irked me. So
What happened to your boys' internet?
Oh no, we're having some
Okay, so
difficulties here.
all right. So since we're all fans of, or not fans of Dead Air here, I'm gonna go through the chat and ask a couple of questions and pull some really interesting ones. Super Soul asks, Kinder Party, what do you think of X23 MODOK Dorm as a team?
This guy, this trolling son of a gun. What was his question? Some three characters, wasn't it?
What do you think of X23, Sasha Grey, MODOK, and Dormammu?
It's an ugly team, man. It's a hideous abomination of a team. He knows what he's doing. He keeps asking me. He wants to get back in this game, and he wants to play it again, but he won't pick any team that makes any lick of sense. So he always will pitch me these horrible orders of these ugly characters. Super Soul, bury him. Just bury him. Just bury him.
All right.
Bury him and his question.
All right. Well, I'm sorry about that then. Airborne is Fly asks, question for everyone. What's the best way to get a player entering the scene up to speed in terms of learning Marvel?
So there's this awesome video series called Marvel Minds on youtube.com/Team Spooky now. You can see the other episodes on youtube.com/Project. So. And then, of course, we have Marvel Live and Marvelous Essentials, who also provides some high-quality tournament pool matches. We got you covered.
Right.
So along with the Marvel live stream, Marvel Minds will be on the Team Spooky channel as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
And, but all jokes aside, there's also some awesome places like the Marvel Reddit, and which is RMBC3, and then Full Schedule actually has this really awesome like video match database, really similar to what Preppy did for Marvel 2. He just like has all those matches on his website and stuff, so it's really cool. Called Salt Mines, I think saltmines.net. Pretty sure that's what it's called. Confirmation KP, yay or nay?
Yeah, saltmines.net. And
Okay.
it's actually also linked to you from our website as well, www.marvellive.com. You can also get the salt mines from there.
Hey. Single Malt 2368 asks, if Disney doesn't want to do a Marvel 4, what would you want to see as a next crossover fighting game?
My Little Pony versus League of Legends fighting game would be dope.
Yo, word. Uh-oh. Well,
I'm sure my internet's awful, but both of those games exist on their own now.
They do.
right, but now we're going to cross them over.
Or MLP versus Sailor Moon. That would be dope. All right, I changed my answer. That's official. That's the last one. Sailor Moon versus My Little Pony. Let's get that happening.
All right, Merc, same question to you, brother. Next crossover fighting game, Dream Match. Let's go.
Um, well, that's actually a really hard one. I honestly I don't know. I mean, like I'm happy with anything.
Like
I
I'm just happy
mean,
with Marvel.
at this point, you can pretty much take any fighting or not even fighting game, just any like video game world and just run with it. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any specific world that I'd want to see.
All right, we have a. What are all these calls dropping right here?
Yeah, we're kind of.
I've survived.
You actually have. Okay, so let me pull a question for you, Persia. I think it's like further up in the chat. Like, who are your favorite players to watch and to commentate?
My favorite players to watch are Yipes, of course, and but aside from Yipes, this is funny too because we had a similar question to this on our podcast, and Combo Fiend, of course, when he used to play, he was awesome to watch, and Chris D, who plays Chris Redfield. He's also really, really fun to watch. So those are like the people I really enjoy watching. I also, anytime someone can be a character specialist with characters that, not a lot of people use, like Chris Redfield, it's really fun to watch them, especially when they succeed with those characters. Christy's been doing really well at a lot of the Big E tournaments, so it's always fun to check them out.
Nice. KP, before before moving on forward with questions, we had the question asked: what would, if they're not making a Marvel 4, what would be your dream fight of two brands crossing over?
Oh man! So any two brands? I could pick any two brands.
Any two brands, any two crossovers. Like she had My Little Pony and Sailor Moon.
Man. Okay. All
Sorry,
right.
I took your pick.
I know, you blew me up. You really blew me up. Okay, any two brands in the world, I get them together and they're making a fighting game. Number one, Metal Gear Solid.
Word.
Ooh.
Number two, it's coming to me.
You want to phone a friend?
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss versus Metal Gear Solid 3, Fate of Two Worlds. Sell it.
I like
I'll
it.
buy it.
I like it. Green eggs and liquid. And
That's good.
Yeah,
Fuck.
thing 1 and thing 2 is an assist.
yo, all the Who's are top tier. Anyways, JB718 asks, I have a question for everyone. Any advice on building a Marvel scene? There's a lot of talent in Orlando, but we rank the worst out of the Florida cities. Even Jacksonville is even better than Orlando. So any advice on rebuilding a scene?
Rebuilding a scene. Sessions. Try to host as many sessions as possible. And honestly, that doesn't even mean like you need to have a session every day. At least take, one day out of 2 weeks. Schedule it with everyone. Make a Facebook group. Put everybody in your scene in that Facebook group. Even people who aren't in your scene in that Facebook group, because you never know when they might be in town. Put them in that group. Set up some sessions. Make sure everybody knows about it a week in advance. You really don't have much of an excuse if you have enough notice in advance. And then if you still don't go, that's just because you
don't want to play.
Yeah, you don't want to play.
You're not that
so
interested.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like if you're really interested in helping build your scene, you get these sessions together. You got to be willing to travel sometimes. You got to be willing to, put in the work. You drive an hour out of your way just to go to this session, whatever you need to do, because that practice is important. And then, of course, when you're not able to actually practice, you should be in the lab. And then get some hidden tech, share it with the people in your scene, or share what you've learned with people in your scene that might get them interested, and then maybe more interested in playing against you. And then I think having those little rivalries within your community is also pretty good.
Katie, I mean, like, since we're talking about like rebuilding a scene here, maybe you could piggyback on that, because I know like some of the Pittsburgh crew is actually pretty like wishy-washy, especially between when you don't have a CMU, like when like the college is like closed down. So like how did you guys like kick things back in action?
We've been lucky enough that even when the campus is sort of shut down and the students go home, they still let us use the campus
Okay.
because they have summer classes. It's even to the point where I know there's a group of guys that, sometimes they'll get together at each other's houses in the evenings to play, especially the ones that live close to each other, you know. And I know at one buddy's house, every Sunday morning they play board games, role-playing games, every Sunday morning. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's just
That's
depends
my
on like
stuff.
what your interest is and, if you're willing to get there and, if you're willing to do it. Yeah. Then there'll always
Did
be,
we all here?
hopefully there'll always be people around to help support, you know.
Are we talking about board games now? Because this is literally my favorite thing in the world. I love board games so much. Can't help it. Maybe it's a white dude thing. I don't know, but I love board games.
All right, Mr. Kinder Party, before you drop out again because you got DDoSed. There was a question like really earlier in the chat that I wanted to address. If there was like a wish list of like buffs and nerfs for this current version of like Ultimate Marvel 3, what would you want?
Number one, I want to be able to spend 1 meter as Arthur to revert an armor state. Okay.
Excuse me?
Yes, exactly. So if I'm in full armor, I want to be able to spend 1 bar to go back to silver.
So like the meter will like not run out and like you get like knocked.
Exactly.
Right.
That's pretty fair, I think, for a joke character. I understand that he's going to explode and everybody wants to laugh at him in his underwear. I get that. But if I could spend a bar, I think everybody would also laugh at the fact that I had to spend meter to avoid that happening. Because my install super ends and I explode across the screen and lay there forever. I could spin a bar and just not, and it would be interesting tactic choice because his DP is a soft knockdown, so I could use it and then safely DAC into armor and get a combo follow-up. It's also a character buff in that way. See, I've thought about this a lot. I've thought about this a whole lot. Also, apparently in the original design, he had a back hop. He had a command normal. It was like back medium or something, and you could hit it, and he would like do a little hop backwards, little jump back. I would like that. Not even a dash. I understand that's not going to happen. I get it. But he has a command normal that moves him forward, and he used to have one that moved him backward, and they took it out. Bring back the hop.
Bring back
That's all I
the
care.
hop.
Bring back the hop. Bring back the hop. Let me go back down so I don't die when my install super is over like literally nobody else in the cast. Can you imagine if Morgan had to just lay down after Astral Vision was over? Like, what a different game this would be, right? If after
This
Astral
guy.
Vision's over, she literally just lays on the floor and you could do whatever you want. Like, you just teleport over and shoot her off the ground with Wesker. That's how bad Arthur is. Wesker can punish him. That's how you know he's a bad character. If
That
a
was a
terrible character
secret
like
troll
Wesker can
at
do
me.
it.
Don't mind him. Don't mind him. And your
Anyways,
troll-
man, that's unfortunately I don't really believe in nerfs, so I probably wouldn't remove a thing. Honestly, I really don't like nerfs that much. I would just buff the crap out of a lot of really bad characters. Like, look what nerfs did to She-Hulk. And that's
Yeah.
it. And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, Trombone. What happened, guys? What was Capcom up with that? Like, was she winning too many tournaments? I don't think so. Not on point, she wasn't. So, I don't believe in nerfs, and I don't like nerfs, and I don't think any character needs to be nerfed in Marvel. They're not that good, but buffs. What? You disagree? Bro, you have a problem with Virgil. You have a really bad
All
problem.
right, there we go. Shine the spotlight. What do you got for us?
as far as what?
Sam
Oh.
also hates
Like
Phoenix. too.
buffs and nerfs? What?
Yeah. Same,
Oh,
same
okay.
question to you.
The game would do less damage. It just in general, because this game just does too much damage. So less damage. You can get a combo off TAC break. That would be
Oh.
amazing.
Yeah.
What else? What else would be cool? If you kill Phoenix with a level 3, she doesn't go Dark Phoenix.
That's a good nerf. That's a clever nerf. I like that, like capture state kind of thing. That'd be cool.
So, for the characters that don't have level 3s, well, hold that.
Taskmaster.
Let's see. What else would I change about the game? I would make Dante's
Stop.
crouching light
Stop. Stop.
5 frames.
No.
Five
I'm ignorant.
I would,
5 frames? It's a projectile. A 5-frame projectile low?
that would be amazing.
Okay, Bison. Sure. Just if
Let's
Bison
see,
had a
what
rock.
else? Hey, these are my buffs. All right, shut it over there,
Right,
KP. All
right.
right, you had your damn. You wanted to dress up your freaking Arthur character. Anyways, what else would I change about the game? Any buff super, you don't get meter while in that super. So astral vision, any super. Or any buff super, you don't get meter while you're in there. What else would I change? Man, I feel like I have a lot of stuff I would change.
Really. Take the heart, take the spine, take it all.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Actually, everything else I'm
Okay.
pretty okay with.
Leave some of it there. Yeah, great.
All right, the next question that we have up here, Raidbot actually asked, what is your guys' opinion on the best Marvel scene?
New York City.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's
That
not.
is.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it
No,
is.
it's not. You don't even like them. You call
I
them
don't-
babies.
When?
You call them babies. I said
Oh,
they were
he's-
babies first, and you agreed with me. You said, yeah, they're babies.
Nah. Oh. When we were talking about that whole Ray Ray thing, I was like, yeah, they're a bunch of babies. But that doesn't mean that they're not. That New York City is not the best Marvel scene.
They're pretty good.
They really are. We're the greatest of all time.
What about Florida? What about Mike Mixup?
Who? No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Anybody who loses to you isn't on my radar. I'm not even on my own radar. according
Bobby,
to
you're
my
off the
stats.
radar, dude.
Okay.
Remember that winter brawl, buddy?
Yeah, we can run that back if you want. Yomicon, bro.
We'll see. We'll
All
see.
right.
I don't know. I think, yeah, who's better? Honestly, who's better than New York? Does Chris count as New York? No.
Yes.
No, he
Chris
doesn't.
G?
He doesn't live there anymore.
What does his Twitter say?
Who cares? What's the zip code?
Yo, he
say?
got location on his tweets. Where he at, man?
Yeah, no,
His
he ain't
Twitter,
there.
his Twitter handle is NYChrisG for a reason. All right.
No.
And even then, even if you don't consider him New York, like he
Yeah, I
was
still don't know he's
over
back
in
there.
New York, and that's where he was like, that's where
Started
his
out.
Marvel life, his Marvel life started in New York, and then he just went over to Cali. That's like saying Justin Wong, Marvel 2 is NYC, Marvel 3 he's West Coast.
NorCal's the best. NorCal's the best. It's not even a challenge.
No.
I'm sorry. I love New York, and they're great
How-
players.
How is NorCal the best?
Vineeth, pretty good player. I don't know if you know who that guy is. Apology man shirt.
Yeah,
They
I
play
do, but
FIFA.
let me just go ahead and like be an asshole for a second. If you're playing a team like that and you're not winning everything, then you are not the best.
Whoa, what?
Sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Wow.
next.
Filipino champ.
Okay, yeah, champ, cool, but he's abandoned us. He's abandoned the game.
GC Yoshi.
Aw.
GC Yoshi.
Peter.
GC
God.
Yoshi,
Justin Wong.
the GC Yoshi, the guy who takes every chance he can on Twitter to just talk so bad about the game. Yoshi, for the love of God, man, I've been seeing you complain about this game so much, or like not even complaining about the game, but just like throwing shade at the game, like
Dumps on it
these
hard.
little-
Drew
he
Grimy
really does,
used to,
man.
dude. Drew Grimy used to be super sick.
Yeah,
with
Drew
it.
Grammy went ghost though.
Yeah, he got some stuff. Hi, I'm Nasty used to be sick. I did beat him too, so I guess that doesn't count. I beat Kane. The champ doesn't count. I beat a lot of people. Nobody counts. Oh, that's really weird.
That's
That's
I hope I don't have my Yipes in tournament. Yumicon
Oh,
Grand
man.
Finals. Here's your preview.
Oh man, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything just because I know Yipes is a strong believer in karma, and I don't want my words to come back around.
Well, I know you're gonna have so much trouble deciding who to root for, because me, your best friend and business partner, and then there's Yipes.
Man, all I know is I hope I make mad money off of that match. I hope I can find at least one sucker who's gonna take my bet.
A lot of people won on Tommy Guns this weekend at F6, so
Ooh, you
Same.
know what? That money match was pretty OD. Well, I mean, that wasn't a money match, right? They play for pride. But I'm saying the trash talk before that match.
it was so real.
Ooh, I mean, I'm a fan of trash talk. All right,
I'm a fan of
just-
Crackfiend.
It's good. It's
It was
good.
hard to watch that. Crackfiend, it was like Crackfiend taught me how to play Street Fighter 4. It was literally like watching Superman get killed by an oily octopus dude for
No, it's like
mad free.
to the heart.
It was hard. It was tough. Ab Six was a tough tournament in general. I don't know. Shout out to Noah Brown though. That's my dude.
So, all right. Speaking of Ab Six, let's go. Let's go on and touch a little bit on that before we head off for the night. Hype moments, dude. Like, what are they? Noel Brown, just like not even the clutch. Like the grand finals was definitely like one of those kind of mouth dropping, awe inspiring sort of grand finals. Like, what was your guys' opinion on that?
Go ahead, Persia. I know you cared
yeah,
a lot
sure.
about it.
Well, honestly, of course, I want Yipes win. That's just like a no-brainer. But at the same time, like Wolverine, he's a hard character to fight against. Just in general, like at the
Terrible
start of the
match.
match, he has like so many options compared to a lot of other characters, and of course, Phoenix. And it's funny too because I did a write-up about Absolute Battle that I'm actually about to publish after we get off here.
Okay.
And I covered this in the write-up too, but it's like Noel, the way he plays, he's the type of person to have just leaps and bounds of confidence, like, just oozing out of him at all times. And he plays that way. You can tell, like,
Right.
he just plays like he knows, like, oh, this is gonna work, and I'm gonna do this, and he's just so confident in what he does. And so the fact that he has a team like Wolvie Doom Phoenix, where she just has so many opportunities to get 5 bars, so many chances to, land a grab, land a dive kick, or land a low, anything, into a TAC where you got to guess, or you got to guess the reset. Like, there's so many opportunities for him to just, like, sneak the bar from you. And it's hard. It's tough. And then especially with Phoenix, he knows how to use that character too. Even as Jean Grey, he can still fight with her. And it's, just overall a super annoying team. Yipes is using Spencer Virgil Hawkeye, which is, a team I've been telling him to use for a really long time. So it's like, man, like, I hope I'm not the reason that he lost because I told him to use that team. But no, like that team was super solid. But at the same time, getting away from Wolverine, he's so annoying and like he's always in your face. Like it's just, it's tough.
Yeah, he is.
If you want to, go ahead.
Oh well,
Go
especially in tournaments, like you have to be able to like just counteract that in a 3 out of 5, and then he resets the set, and I'm just like in my mind, I'm like, oh, for the love of God, just Wolverine die! Wolverine, just die, please! I hate you. And then after Wolverine's dead, I'm like, Phoenix, die, please! So, it's just like it never ends. It's just bad.
Sorry, KV, you want to jump on that, like any or?
Yeah, no, it's a terrible matchup. Like, as a Spencer player, that's definitely, like, one of his worst matchups ever is Wolverine. So, like, I understand, like, Noel just, like, worked over that, what was his name? Godlike Abe guy. He was also playing Nemo. Shout out to him for getting 3rd place, but he really ate it from Noel Brown. And I don't know if that put Yipes off a little bit, because I know maybe he just saw that matchup and was like, I don't want that. I don't want to run, Nova against this. Or I don't know if sometimes Yipes just makes an agreement with himself to play a team a whole tournament, and he might have done that. But he definitely wasn't doing himself any favors. There was a lot of blow-ups in that tournament just in general. Like, I think, was it Terry Bogard was a huge favorite to win, but he only made it to, like, I think, like 5th place. I mean, only made it to 5th, but he made it to 5th. K-Brad, I think, finished 4th, which was really
K-Brad was
awesome.
4th.
Love watching that guy whenever he's having fun with the game. Like, he's just, I think Persia mentioned this on our last show, like how he kind of switches gears between Street Fighter K-Brad and, like, Marvel K-Brad. And, like, Marvel K-Brad is a super loose and, like, fun guy, and he enjoys the crap out of the game. Whenever he loses, he stands up and, like, he'll dap him up, and he has a good time, and he's not salty about it. So that's really cool whenever he's top 8. I don't know. I liked Ab 6 a lot because I was torn with the grand finals because I wanted Noel to finally cash in another W, and a Marvel win. But I also wanted the same thing for Yipes, literally at the same time, because it's kind of been a while for both of them. It was so hard to pick, and I think what's really important here is that Yipes loses to the Bird, man. Like, it just, I've been watching that forever. He just can't deal with the Bird, and I don't know what it is, but hopefully he gets over it. And he did beat Noel in winners, didn't he? Or he beats a Phoenix player in winners. I'm not sure if it was Noel or if it was Fonzo, but
he beat Neo.
Neo, yeah, he beat Neo too. So I mean, it was cool to see that, but I kind of knew, like, I don't want to say new, but I would have put my money on Noel. And that's horrible to say because I love Yipes, and most times I would bet on Yipes, but he just struggles with the birds. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It was tough to watch.
anytime, honestly, like anytime I see that he has to go up against Phoenix, it's always rough, just in general. I mean, she's hard to fight against, like, period, no matter
She's
who
a
you
win
are.
condition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awful. It's
She's a
awful.
tough character.
No, it actually very much is, and like the thing I like about Absolute Battle 6 is that like you have your heavy hitters, you have your sharks, you also have like a little bit of people coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure who made top 16, like some like Thor Iron Man
Yes,
player
you
did that. Yeah,
Okay, top 16. You beat Jumpman.
Oh yeah, that's your homie.
Jumpman. Jumpman only got to third, and he
You
beat him in
hyped
exhibition.
Jumpman up too.
Oh,
That was your
what's wrong, KB? You gonna be all right, man? You all right? You all right, bro? You okay?
my curse. My
Yeah, it
curse.
is kind of your fault. You're really in there with that.
Took my lip ring out. It all went downhill.
Well, all right then. Well, obviously we have ran like kind of like way past our time, but again, just so much Marvel to have been had and being discussed. I'm really, really glad to share it with all of you guys and people that are viewing the stream. Before we go, though, I had a really interesting question that kind of piggybacked on the whole region, which region's the best thing. I can see if I can find it. Prometheus Bounded asks, question about the scene tier list. Where does Japan fall? And are they allowed to claim Blue River more than Chile?
Honestly, of all the places that should claim King Blue River, it should be the U.S.
America.
Because if it wasn't for him training in the U.S., he would not have reached the level that he was at to win Evo. And this is something that I've even talked about with the guys, the Marvelous Essential guys. Marvel is like one of the only games where people internationally have to come here to get better. Like a lot of other games, you always talk about people, oh man, I'm going to Japan next summer so I can practice
Yeah.
arcade and get mad good. But now when people want to get good at Marvel, they come here. Bam. That's just how it is. So, and King Blue River, he spent a lot of time in the U.S. He got really good. He won Evo. Now we've seen something really similar from Takumi.
Stayed at my
who's coming
house.
over here. And Takumi is getting so good too. So it's like definitely America's place to be when you want to level up in Marvel.
So where does that fall for the rest of Japan then?
Oh, well, Japan, there's RF, Cross, Nemo, and then Takumi, of course. I feel like all of them are amazing. Like, they play their teams in ways that, like, you can see the difference, I feel like, in
Word.
their play. Like, they just use the characters differently, but in ways that I feel like a lot of people, once they watch them here, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm about to jack that. Like, so I feel like they show us a lot of tech. Team Nemo is Team Nemo for a reason. Nemo like invented that team, and it has so much synergy, and it works so well together. And now so many people use that team. So I think they're innovative for sure. Like they find great things like about the game. There's even that glitch. What is that glitch where your assist character leaves? No, we just watching that video shared.
The Kubota glitch.
Yeah, that glitch. I mean, the game is pretty glitchy. Period. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that they are like super innovative and they like find out stuff about the game. But I feel like when it comes to like playing wise, like I feel like America's better.
Don't forget the guy that dressed up like Frieza and beat Moons. That guy was
Yo,
super
who was that
He's from
guy?
Japan.
That was a
he's-
Japan guy?
Yeah, the guy who was like dressed up as Frieza, hardcore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he whooped Moons' butt. That guy's super washed up. People joke about me being washed up. Yikes, look at Moons.
Dude, I was actually about to pull a question of like, question for Kinder Party. Are you like washed up or are you retired or what's...
I'm not retired or washed up. What the heck? I just took 2014 off because I was tired. I had to get a new job and stuff. I got a new car. I got a new house. I got a new place. Take that, nerds.
Oh, man.
Could I have D any of the above? Probably not. I don't know. I'm not Colin Cowherd, that guy. Did anybody see him? He was like blowing up the esports. He was like the ESPN guy, and he was like, "Look at these nerds getting hype on video."
Oh yeah.
Screw that guy. Like,
That guy, he had me tilted all day yesterday. Really though, like we were chatting it up on Facebook, on like Skype, Twitter. Literally, like I don't know.
Yeah, like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. That was weird. I'm kind of pumped for esports though, really, just in general. Like it's
good.
shout outs to Twitch, man. Shout outs to Team Spooky. Shout outs to Marvel Live. Shout outs to Meter Burn. These are all
Hey,
these.
hey, stop! I was actually going to go to that. Then you had to just keep on speeding through it.
My
Yo,
bad.
Beat us to it.
yeah, definitely. Quit going fast. You have a slow walk speed.
I just want to be giving thanks all the time.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna give you your chance. So that about does it for this episode of Meter Burn. But before we go, I'm gonna go around the little table here. Merkel's still having trouble connecting, so I'm really sorry about that, guys. KP, now you can give your shout outs, bro.
All right, man. Yeah, shout outs to Team Spooky for bringing the show on. Shout outs to Marvel Live. Shout outs to Perza who's in the chat now. Shout outs to Merkel, Potato Salad, all those guys. Tasif. Shout outs to my boy Airborne. I gave the Spider-Man love to. Shout outs to El God, my sponsor. Shout outs to my mom, Tomas. Shout outs to shout outs to the future of Marvel, guys. I'm really pumped. I'm excited.
Very, very, very. Miss Persia?
Yes, of course. First and foremost, shouts to Broken Tier, who's always awesome, and I love being part of the team. And shouts to Marvel Live, our new podcast, first and third Tuesdays of every month on twitch.tv/Team Spooky. Of course, shout outs to Team Spooky for giving us a new home to host our videos and everything like that. Shout outs to Yipes being in the background, salty because he has to be quiet and can't talk while I do this interview.
Oh.
And shout outs to everybody watching, of course, and you guys. Thank you, Katie.
Yes,
and what do you prefer, Blacktastic? Do you like people calling you that
I mean,
directly?
you
or...
can just call me Bobby. That's fine.
Okay, so Katie, Bobby, thank you guys for having us, and honestly, it was like the fastest and most entertaining 2 hours I've spent.
Yeah, this was fun. This was really great. Thank you, guys.
Hey, can we get a little chit chat quip from Yipes real quick? Is that possible?
Can you say something?
Nah, he actually already is about to go downstairs and get snacks for us. So,
Oh, word. No, don't worry about it. We'll all chat it up sometime soon at the next major. Katie, what's going on, girl?
Well, I mean, I think it's great. You guys came on and, created everything, so that we can keeping interested about Marvel and talk about Marvel and find out new things with it and stuff. I think it was such a great idea.
Every time I just hear the word Marvel, just like butterflies in the stomach.
I know. It's really beautiful.
So thank you, so much for coming out with all of that stuff and keeping it alive, and the interest definitely there, and for coming on, and this was great. And if you guys want to come on again and talk about
More Marvel?
any new aspects or anything like that, definitely hit us up, let us know. This was good. This was a really good show. I wish I knew more about Marvel, so I can dive into
you
this.
can.
You guys,
Well, all you gotta do is tune into Marvel Lives as part of the Team Spooky brand. Come on, have you been listening?
You know what, though? Honestly, it's never too late to learn. That's the awesome thing. And we're not like most other games, hint, hint, where they have a patch every week and you feel like you have to learn a new game every time there's an update. So at least you know that what's out there is what's out there. That's what you get. It's never going to change. So it's never too late to learn. It's not like you're going to fall behind because the game's going to keep, updating. Nope. This is it. Just pick it up, learn it, become one of us. Join the dark side.
Spread the good word.
Marvel.
And Merkel wanted to say sorry that his internet blew up and he couldn't make it back onto the show to say his goodbyes, but he had an awesome time too.
Oh, great. I'm glad everybody here had a great time. I'm sure I did have a great time. Thank you to everyone that has been featured on this podcast, Miss Persia, Mr. KP, and obviously my co-host Katie. Thank you to all of the chatters that are either lurking or have been really active in this presentation. Really appreciate it, guys. As for me to burn, our next episode will actually be this Friday. We have a jam-packed week of information. We're going to be talking about a lot of the East Coast, what you may not have been paying attention to. Also, we're going to be hyping up the Buffalo Comic Cons and the Rumble in the Tundra, again, having Brian Stone on there. And on in October, we're going to be actually hyping up Youmacon, which me and KP are going to be busting some heads in that Marvel tournament. So,
I'll be there too.
oh, you will?
Yes, I will.
There we go. We're gonna have another session at Youmacon Battle Opera. So yeah, guys, please be sure, if you haven't already, please follow these guys at their respective social medias. When I do upload this on the YouTube, I will be sure to have everyone's information in the description. Please be sure to follow Meterburn TV on their Twitter, me, the Blacktastic on Twitter, and also Kujo Kate on Twitter. And is Aiden falling asleep? It looks like he's falling asleep there.
No, actually, I think I see my Marvel disc trapped under my computer.
The
I was like, what is that? My
disrespect.
Marvel? Hold on a second.
Oh my god. I'll wait.
And you wonder why he's washed up now. This is what he's... Yeah, let me see the other side of that disc.
No.
The other
lost
side's
ya.
pretty okay, but the middle might be cracked out. So yeah, guys, Marvel lives. Have fun with the game.
All right, guys, we're gonna be signing off in just a minute there, but I also still just want to give a shout out to Dynamic Custom Beat Works again. Take % off using coupon code Meterburn. Head on to dynamicbeatworks.com for all of your beat sprite needs. Take custom burners and whatever, and also Marvel Live, first and third Tuesdays of every month at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on twitch.tv/TeamSpooky. These guys are doing a great job analyzing, breaking down, and just kicking back just like us, just talking about what we love the most, which is Marvel, baby. So for Miss Persia, Mr. KP, Rip Merkel, and Kujo Kate, this is the Blacktastic signing off. You guys have a wonderful night, and take care.